within like 5 minutes of
This is so insane.
sitting there, the person that I was dating said, "Oh, Casey was in that mass shooting that your friend committed."
All right, so we're here today. We're going to answer some Q&A questions that people have sent us, our listeners, our first fans, and we're so grateful for all your support, everybody who has commented and DM'd us and everything. So, Casey, you want to start off? And
so the first question that we were asked is how we became friends and how we met. So, Shelby?
It's a crazy story, one that we don't usually tell random people when they ask. We're just artists.
Yeah, like, oh, we're in the same field.
Literally.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to get started telling the story. It's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we met because of a series of crimes.
Yes.
Literally. Yeah. Well, Casey, why don't you tell your story like very briefly? Because we're going to do deep dives on this. Some people might know a little bit about it, but why don't you just like summarize?
Cliff Notes version. I was assaulted by a famous CEO named Dan Price. And initially I wanted to stay anonymous, and I did the police report anonymous and contacted a journalist and told my story. I wrote like a first-hand account of what happened to me.
Yeah.
And then a year later, Shelby was also...
Well, I met a guy for what I intended to be a business meeting. I was trying to get into activism in Seattle. That's where I live. That's where I'm from. I'm an artist. We had talked about my art. And he ended up actually like driving drunk recklessly with me in the car. Basically, I got in his car to wait for an Uber as that I was ordering. And he literally just put the car in drive and drove off and was driving super dangerously. And then I convinced him to pull over, and he actually like choked me, like squeezed his hand around my neck. And so anyway, I was rescued. Thankfully, nothing worse happened than that. We're going to get into the details and really tell our story in a later episode. But basically that happened to me. And then after that, I was like debating, like, what do I do? Do I report this? You know, I mean, obviously a lot of women have had bad experiences. We don't always report them. I had bad experiences in my life that I didn't report in the past because it can feel like, you know, very difficult, like it's not even worth it. And this one, I was kind of debating the same thing. But then I did some research. I went through and read some articles about him. I realized that there were some past patterns of abuse. First, I read about his ex-wife and how he waterboarded her, you know, allegedly, and other abusive things. I know.
Yeah.
But at the time I was like, okay, obviously this happened to me. So I believed it. I was like, oh, okay, well, I saw the look in his eye when he put his hand around my neck, and I believe that he's capable of horrible things. I felt like if I didn't have a man on the way to pick me up, he would have absolutely done worse things. So anyway, I read these. I was like, okay, maybe I should report him. Obviously, you know, clearly there's a pattern of behavior. Then I actually stumbled upon an article specifically that was written anonymously about Casey. Like, it was not written anonymous. The journalist was named, but Casey wasn't named in it. There were some pictures of her from the back. I read her story. She wrote stuff in it. I don't know, was it all written by you?
It was all written by me.
Oh, it was? Okay.
So that particular article that you read was, I wrote my firsthand account of being raped and going to have the rape kit done and what that experience was like. And Shelby happened to read that.
Yeah, I stumbled upon it and it made me cry. And I was just like, it was such a heart-wrenching account of her experiences. And obviously she's a writer. She's a super talented writer. She published a poetry book, so you should go buy it. But
thank you.
Seriously, but like, she's good at evoking emotion. So it was very well written and it made me cry. I was like, oh my God, I have to report this guy. So she's literally the reason I decided that I couldn't just sweep it under the rug and let it go. I had to do something. So I talked to my parents and I reported it. And the next day, so I actually contacted this journalist, the guy who had published it on his website. So she wrote it, published on his like blog, website, whatever. So I contacted him. I was like, oh my God, I see that you've done some investigating. You know, I read these articles, whatever. It happened to me too. I wrote out everything that happened to me and sent it to him. He then was like, okay, you have to get in contact with, you know, some other women who've also been assaulted. There was a list. He sent me all their contact information and like with their permission. And I ended up connecting with Casey. We had a phone call like the next night. And that was the first time I met her. And I still remember getting chills when we were on the phone and we're like, oh yeah, okay, so I'm an artist. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm an artist too. I do like a lot of paintings. I sell them. I'm like, okay. And she's a model. I, at the time, was like a recently former model. I had modeled a bunch in college. And so we had that in common. And then she's like, yeah, I'm tall. I have green eyes.
And at the time I had really long hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, we're like the same. Like,
yes.
It was crazy. I got chills because I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Yeah, too much in common.
Yeah.
And I still remember like when you called me and hearing your voice, like I felt like I was talking to like someone who was already my best friend.
Aw,
Like
that's
I
so
like
sweet.
immediately felt safe and comfortable and understood. And Shelby then became like a huge support system for me. And because she had the courage to report it,
You're so sweet.
then my case was taken more seriously because like a year apart.
And they
cases.
also, the New York Times, because he was charged with my case, the New York Times decided to finally actually do an article on him, and that was, the expose happened. And although the charges were dropped, as some of you probably know if you've seen, us post about stuff, but he wasn't properly prosecuted, unfortunately, even though he was indicted by a grand jury in her case. But either way, it's obviously an injustice. It's horrible that it wasn't prosecuted, but at the very least, we did get our friendship out of it. And also, at least more people know now about him, and they can look it up. Like if a girl's gonna go on a date with him, she can, hopefully it'll pop up when she looks him up. So I'm really glad that at least me reporting it, and then you pursuing your case, it led to that. So
same. And it's like a horrible person that had really good taste in women because because all of his victims are like the most talented, beautiful, amazing, kind women. And like, I'm just so grateful that I got a best friend out of this. Like literally the only silver lining. And it's just wild how we met. And it's so funny because people are like, oh, like, how do you know each other? Like when I went to Shelby's wedding, which was the first time I met her in person.
Yeah, we've been talking for like 2 years now, right?
Yeah. And so I went to her wedding, and it was funny because the guests at the wedding were like, oh my God, like, how do you know the bride and groom?
Like, not gonna tell that story.
I was like, oh, I'm also a model artist just like Shelby, so that's how we connected.
That's all you to say. Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my God, but truly, I feel so grateful. Like, I know this was a terrible experience, and your experience was worse than mine by a lot, I think, for sure. But we both, had a terrible time. It's like something really special came out of it because, I feel like we are going to be friends the rest of our lives. Forever. Obviously, we started a podcast, but I'm so happy that we met. It's amazing. And you also have another friend that you met through one of your other best friend, someone you met through one of your traumas, because Casey, we're going to do a deep dive on this coming up on the anniversary, but she was in a mass shooting as well, the Vegas shooting.
Yes, I was in the deadliest mass shooting. Yes. And
insane.
I had given an interview to BuzzFeed shortly after it happened, and then one of my other best friends, Hannah, happened to see that, and she had survived a synagogue shooting where her mom was murdered, and she resonated with my video, reached out to me, and similar to Shelby and I, Hannah and I were like pen pals for a couple of years. And then the first time I met her in person was at my TED Talk. She showed up, and that was just amazing meeting her in person. And then I had that experience with Shelby of like virtual friendship that's a best friend, and then you meet them in person and it's like, oh my God.
I mean, it's really amazing. It's magical. So at least something good came out of that, your trauma with both of your, probably
both
biggest
of my
traumas.
biggest traumas got me my best friends. So
crazy. Like, why did you have to suffer for that? But you know what?
But hey,
at least there's something good.
Exactly. Like that's how I'm choosing to view it, is like the two worst things brought me two of the best things. So
that's so sweet.
Yeah. Shelby got sent some questions on our Patreon. So what do we have next?
Okay. Have you or anyone in your family ever had an encounter with a murderer or criminal?
Yes.
I know you have. This is a good question.
Okay, well, I mean, I've had many encounters with criminals. What should I tell first? So my dad was a cop for 30 years.
In a not so great area.
I grew up in the hood.
Truly. Her stories are insane. Yeah.
Yes, I've got street cred. But yeah, so my dad was a cop for 30 years and had some crazy stories. There was one, I remember him telling us that this guy had planned on robbing a grocery store, and he got stuck in like the air ducts or in the ceiling.
Like vents or I don't know. Yeah.
And no one knew that he was stuck up there. There was just this horrible smell.
Oh God.
And liquid dripping into the aisles. And it smelled like death, obviously.
Jesus, that's horrible.
And they discover a body stuck up there and can only assume that he was there to rob the place and got stuck and melted onto the floor.
That's disgusting.
Of my hometown grocery store.
Did you go shopping there after?
No.
Okay, I wouldn't.
It was kind of on the other part of town.
Okay,
So
good.
yeah, that was that.
Jeez,
And
that's
then
crazy.
okay, there was one that happened when I was in high school. And actually quite a few things happened when I was in high school.
To say the least.
Yeah, this one is really awful and horribly sad. It was one of my close friends in high school. His brother was catfished by a random person. Like, this person didn't have anything against him. It was just a random, he created a profile of a woman and was pretending to be like this beautiful girl that was new in town. And he starts DMing all of these guys on Facebook and is pretending to be this girl.
Oh my God.
And my friend's brother thought that he had met a girl and was in a relationship with her virtually, and then was planning on meeting her at the park to meet in person for the first time.
God.
And this guy who was catfishing him literally showed up to the park and killed him for literally no reason. He did not have like a reason other than he just wanted to murder people, and he got off on catfishing them and making these guys think that a girl liked them. And yeah,
So horrible.
Horrible.
So sad. I mean, we've all talked to people on Facebook, probably in our age range, like that you didn't know personally, that went to the next school or they're new in town or whatever, and then go meet up with them. Like, that was very normal when I was that age. So I feel like he truly did nothing wrong. Like, that's just a
nothing
horrible,
wrong at all.
horrible tragedy.
Horrible.
Evil.
And then another case, my dad was like the head cop on this case, and he had to give like a press conference, and it was so funny because my mom and I were watching it on TV, and my dad like was nervous or something because he had horrible cotton mouth and it was painful to listen to.
That's funny.
We were like, oh my God, someone please pass him water, like this is so bad. Like, but he was talking about this horrible case where this high schooler murdered his best friend because his best friend started dating his ex-girlfriend, and he chopped up his body and attempted to burn the pieces of his best friend's body in his own backyard.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so horrible.
Yeah, and where the house was down the street from one of my close friends' houses. So like she's like, whoa, like I would like see them. And yeah. And then
That's terrifying.
one of my neighbors on my street was raped and murdered in her home, and she was an older woman, like an elderly woman.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's sick.
No, disgusting. And like my hometown was so awful. I mean, it had beautiful parts too. It wasn't all awful, but the crimes were horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, my car was always getting broken into. My coworker was held up at gunpoint after her shift. It was just
I'm so glad you got out of there.
same. Okay, but there was this time where, okay, I've been almost carjacked
I was hoping you'd
twice.
tell this. Crazy.
Okay, so in my hometown, there was this one street that my mom was like, Casey, you are never allowed to drive down the street. Like, it is the most dangerous street. And my dad, being a cop there, was like, yeah, do not go down the street.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, like, especially at night. It was like, in daytime, you might be okay, but at night, definitely
So of course
not.
you went down the street.
Yeah. So my parents were very strict and
like insanely strict.
incredibly
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
religious and strict all growing up until I was like 18, and then that changed. But yeah, so I was so paranoid about being late and like missing curfew even by like a couple minutes that I was like, I'm gonna have to take that street. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, because I didn't want to be late and get in trouble. So I'm like, okay,
I get it.
I'm gonna take the dangerous ass street. And I was leaving my friend Tiffany's apartment, and it was like I had 10 minutes to get home and make it in time. So I drive down that street.
God.
There's a car stopped at the stop sign in front of me. I'm the next car behind. I drove a shitty Chevy S10 that was always breaking down.
Yeah.
It had crank windows, like the locks where you have to like reach over to lock them. Like,
Yeah.
And the AC was also broken.
Of course.
It was just like,
AC's always broken.
yes.
Right? Yeah.
And like everything in that truck was broken, but somehow it still worked sometimes. And
That's all you got.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm behind this car and I'm like, okay, there's a drug deal going on. Like, yeah, this is a sketchy part of town. I should not be on the street. But there was a guy in front of me doing some type of drug deal through the window on the passenger side of the car. Clearly, something went wrong. Yeah. So they start screaming at each other. The guy that's outside of the car is trying to like punch and get into that
Oh my God,
car.
it's right the car in front of you.
Directly in front.
Okay.
Like literally like a foot in front of me.
And why didn't you drive around?
I couldn't because there were cars coming.
Oh my God,
on
so
the
you're
other
literally
side.
trapped there.
So I was trapped. And I am like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? And I see him like kicking that car. So then I'm like, oh my God, like that door's unlocked. My passenger side was unlocked.
God.
So I reached over to lock it. Like within like probably 20 seconds of me locking it, he runs over to my car. That car goes off. And well, actually the car had gone off because the guy was like kicking it. And so that car went. And that guy runs over, tries to get in my car, and I'm like, huh, but I still couldn't go because that car, like, even though
went forward and then stopped or something? Oh my God.
Yes, like, I don't know if they stalled out or what, but like, it was still like, oh my God.
In the road right in front of you, so you couldn't actually get out of there.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this guy, and it probably happened so quickly, like, it probably was not as much time as it felt like.
Yeah.
Like, he was probably kicking my door for maybe 30 seconds.
That's a long ass time.
But it felt like...
For a man to be trying to break into your car.
Yes.
With you in it.
Yes. So
Jesus.
I'm finally able to go. And then I remember I did not stop at any like stop sign or street light. Like I was like, get me the fuck home. Like I'm terrified.
Of course, yeah.
So I make it home. I make curfew. So I'm like, okay, like at least I'm not going to get in trouble for that. But I'm so terrified and shaky that when I go to unlock the front door, my mom heard me because she heard the key rattling and was like, what's going on? And she opens the door and is like, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong? Because like,
you were obviously
I'm visibly
just,
upset.
yeah.
And then I start bawling and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I drove down the street. You told me not to drive down. And someone tried to carjack me, but I'm fine. And yeah, so.
That's awful.
That's
super funny. It's awful.
When I was in high school and then in college,
like you're just a target. You should hear some of her other stories. You're just a target for like bad people.
Not anymore though.
No, yeah,
not anymore though. I have healed. I have done so much energy healing. It's no longer in my cells. Those people are no longer attracted to me.
Yes.
Not anymore. But for most of my life,
yeah,
I was. So I was going to Cal State Long Beach and I lived in the hood of Long Beach and so much crazy shit.
I can't believe you lived
there.
in the hood by yourself. Like that's fucking
yeah. Oh, I had a roommate that was 85 years old, Betsy Cox, and her cat Sweetie. But Betsy would like go live on her boat with her cat.
So you're basically there alone.
Yes, and also like she wouldn't leave the apartment. She's 85,
yeah.
so like yeah. But yeah, the hood of Long Beach, and I'm like, which story do I tell first? I'll go with the second time I was almost carjacked.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is that it happened in the nicer part of Long Beach. So going to Cal State Long Beach, the campus is beautiful. The surrounding area is nice. And I'm like driving from like the rough part of downtown Long Beach to the college. And it was finals week. And Shelby knows this because she's just like me. We are both perfectionists. We were both straight A students. We're like, we need to get perfect grades.
Yes.
And that was my, like, I had to be perfect and everything. So I'm like, okay, finals week, I'm gonna ace this, you know. I'm driving there and the car, it was literally like the same type of scenario, but I don't think it was a drug deal. It seemed like he was literally just trying to carjack someone. Like it didn't seem like a drug deal gone bad.
Just carjacking.
Because I'm certain that
just run-of-the-mill carjacking.
Right. Like I'm positive that the first time the guy was trying to get my car so he could chase
the other car.
Yes,
of course.
because it was like,
sounds like it.
He either got robbed from the drug deal or like, yeah, either his money was taken or his drugs were taken.
Sure.
And he wanted my car to chase them.
Yeah, get him back.
But I think this situation was slightly different because this guy, he was shredded, huge, muscular guy. And he is trying to carjack the minivan in front of me.
You're like, not again.
Yeah, no, I literally, in my head, I was like, all right, I know what to do. I've been here before. So I didn't want to make the same mistake that I made last time, which was like not reversing, because I've played that first one back in my head so many times. I was like, okay, I should have reversed and then like maneuvered into it or something, you know? So
in the moment, it's really difficult to know.
Like, and also you're just like, oh,
you're frozen.
Like, yeah. So this time, and I'm like so close to the college. I'm like 1 minute away from being in the parking lot.
Oh my God.
To go take my final. And in my head, I'm like, I can't be late to my final. Like kind of like the curfew thing.
Yeah.
It was like, I have somewhere to be. Like, I don't have time to be fucking carjacked. So I'm like,
It's not on the schedule for today.
no, it was not. So he's like in front. I see what's happening. I'm like, okay.
You're
he's
preparing
trying to
yourself,
carjack.
yeah.
So I'm like thinking about what happened to me the first time. So I'm like, okay, I need to put this bitch in reverse. Mind you, my car was always breaking down.
Oh my God.
So I popped that bitch in reverse and my Chevy S10 starts smoking. Yeah. And
oh my God.
I'm like, okay.
No.
Yeah. And
worst timing.
during that, like, while I'm reversing, it starts smoking. The minivan is able to get away from the guy.
Okay.
So he then runs over to my car, which is
No.
and also I'm like, you see my car smoking? Why do you want
He's
it?
probably not thinking straight.
No, clearly was not. He looked like if anyone has ever been to like Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, so imagine like someone that is like completely drugged out, but is incredibly muscular and huge. Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes, like he looked like he was fresh out the pen. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he didn't have a shirt on. Literally 12-pack. Like,
no, shirtless.
Oh, he was shirtless. He had on sweatpants and he was shirtless.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So he runs over to my Chevy S10, starts banging on the
fucking
hood.
Hulk.
And literally. And is like, get the fuck out, bitch, get the fuck out. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, truck, fucking work. Like
literally.
Work, start reversing. And I'm like, okay, like I got this. Like I've been here before. I got this. So eventually my car does reverse. And
Thank God.
I'm able to then maneuver around him. And then he literally goes to the car behind me to try to do the exact same thing.
Wow.
And at that point, like I've already called the cops. But yeah, those were my 2 carjacking stories.
Crazy.
But Shelby, what about you? Like,
oh my God. Okay. I mean, it's hard to top her stories. Like,
no,
she has so many stories. But okay, I do have a couple crazy things.
Yeah.
So when I think of like criminal, like my family, my dad carpooled with Ted Bundy in law school. So that's a fun fact, right? Yeah, crazy.
How often?
Like all the time. Yeah, because they went to the same law school and they were in the same friend group. And so they get coffee together and stuff, like with, other people there. Yeah, so he knew Ted Bundy. And actually one of my dad's lawyer friends was Ted Bundy's best friend, and who like defended him till the very end, could not believe that he did it, truly believed in his innocence, raised a ton of money, like was contacting my dad and all the other lawyers to be like, hey, we need to raise money for his defense, like he's innocent, and didn't believe that he did it until the very end when he finally confessed. Like literally thought he was innocent the whole time because he was such a good friend with this guy. Like he believed him. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. He was actually in a recent documentary, not super recent, but like a few years ago. This guy was interviewed, my dad's, lawyer friend who was his best friend. So that's a crazy story.
So that must have felt so gnarly for your dad and also like for Ted's best friend of like
realizing,
we were literally
I know
this close to a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, my dad said he seemed normal, like no red flags. And another thing that's interesting is my dad was also my parents were friends with the detective who caught him, or at least the one in Washington who was investigating the crimes, who would like come over to our house and stuff. So interesting. Yeah, his name's Bob Keppel, I believe. And he also was like involved in the Green River Killer case, like catching him. So very interesting. That's like a crazy fact about my dad. But then another thing that really impacted my family that I've already written like a 2-part episode about, or maybe 3-part. And we haven't recorded it yet. And I'm waiting on, because I actually wrote to the criminal, this guy who is like a suspect. Well, not officially. He's my suspect in this case.
Yes.
And it's basically, my aunt was murdered before I was born. This is my mom's older sister. My mom was like in early middle school, something like that. So this happened like in the 70s. But her name was Claudia, and she was tortured and assaulted and murdered and thrown on the side of the highway in Texas and found, and her killer was never caught. But there are some, people who may look good for it, in different ways, but there was basically no investigation. And so I kind of wanted to reopen that and actually dig into it and and see if like, I'm also
we're gonna crack the case.
Right. I mean, that would be amazing. I was contacting the police there as well, and I haven't heard back. So I'm kind of waiting for these things to line up before we present on it. But yeah, crazy. So that's something that actually still haunts my family to this day, obviously.
Course.
Yeah, the loss of their sister.
Shelby, did I ever tell you about my close call with a murderer?
No.
So, close call is a stretch. I met someone who ended up murdering his 2 kids years later. And
what? That's crazy.
Yes. So this guy approached me in a parking lot in Long Beach and asked for my phone number. And I got such a bad vibe off of him.
Whoa.
And
but you gave him your phone number.
He was attractive.
Okay.
Like, he was a good-looking guy. And
so you're like, why am I feeling this way?
right. So I gave him my phone number, and I thank God I never met up with him. Like, I actually trusted my gut, which was rare for me at that time.
That's true.
Very rare.
He must have had real bad vibes.
Yes.
Like, whoa.
Yes. So I didn't like actually
meet up with him.
Yes.
You just met him the one time, and then you saw on the news.
Time. So this is what. So because the interaction was
you
so.
you told me about this. This guy is the crazy conspiracy guy.
Yes. Okay.
He was in the news a bunch recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, his face was burned into my brain because of how creepy he made me feel. And news came out that this QAnon guy thought that his kids had like
so
lizard
sad.
blood.
Yeah,
or
like something insane, obviously.
Yes.
He's a delusional, like, schizophrenic. I don't know.
And he thought he had to murder his kids to like save the world from them. And so he takes his 2 little kids to Mexico, and I think he killed them with like a spear gun. Like, fucking
horrible.
awful.
Horrible.
And he was like a surf instructor for little kids in like Santa Barbara.
Can you imagine if your kid was around this man?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, people's kids were.
Yeah, and I could have like met up with him.
Yeah, you could have hung out with him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That is.
Insane.
Wow. Right now, I'll be putting the article about this up so everyone can see it. So look right now. There's going to be a picture of him and his family. But yeah, that is a wild story. I actually have a close call with a murder as well. I don't know if I've actually told you this.
No.
So this is interesting. Okay, this was like, thankfully nothing happened. But basically I was walking around, and I used to live in a neighborhood that was like a beautiful neighborhood, but it was also right off the highway. So there would be people there that were unsavory, right? And this general area had some unsavory people as well, like just in general, unhoused people. And there was like one house in the neighborhood that was kind of like a drug house. So anyway, it wasn't the best neighborhood to walk around in, is what I'll say, alone. So I was walking, but it's the middle of the day, and there were like, you'd think there'd be people around. For when this happened, there was no one around though, just happened to be. So I'm like on my way back to the house after walking around the neighborhood for like an hour or something, listening to music. And I see a truck pull next to me. It's like a white truck, and just starts pulling really slow next to me. So like I look over, and it's a guy just with the window down, just smiling at me, like really creepy, like a creepy, like,
Ew.
unsettling smile. So I was just like, ugh, but whatever, like guys like catcall women all the time. So I was just kind of like, ugh, whatever. And I just didn't interact with him. But he like drove by super slowly, just kind of like looking back as he drives by, just like, weird. So anyway, he goes, and I like don't think anything of it. And then he turns up there, and I just had a feeling. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna like come by, like he's gonna come by again. And he fucking did. So he went around the block and then comes back and drives even slower, and literally like comes right next to me and drives and starts like, I don't even know if he said anything to me. I don't think he did. He was silent. He just was staring at me. Yeah, with the window down, just staring at me, and drives by again. And literally goes, and like this time I'm like, oh my God, like I need to fucking get out of here. So I start actually sprinting as he like drives off. I'm sprinting towards the house that I live at. And I like literally, he like is doing a loop in the neighborhood. So you have to go down pretty far to the next street to like come back basically. And by the time literally I like sprint up to my door, he's pulling up in front of the house. So he like saw where I lived and everything. And I'm like rattling the keys, like same as you said, like shaky as fuck, like trying to get in the door. And I like get in, and I lock the door, and I actually did call the cops.
Good.
Yeah, and of course they didn't fucking do anything. They're like, okay, whatever, and never heard anything. So, well, I mean, he didn't do anything, to be fair. They can't arrest him. So really, what's the point? But anyway.
Stalking.
I mean, he wasn't he drove, he could have been like, we did a wrong turn. Yeah. There's nothing they could have done, and I didn't expect it, but I was just scared, so I called them anyway. So I never see this guy again until I see a local news article that a man has murdered his girlfriend. I think she was pregnant. I'm not sure. Anyway, had murdered his girlfriend, and I literally am like, oh my God, it's the fucking guy. It's the guy. His picture is the guy. I'll see if I can find it and put it in here. But it was from years ago. But yeah, anyway, so this guy fucking murdered his girlfriend.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Okay. So this is wild. I was in the mass shooting. There's not a ton of information about, bleep his name, horrible human being.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a ton of information to come out about him. And I was dating someone.
This is the most insane story ever. Like, this shows you, Casey has really leveled up her taste in men, but this just goes to show how bad things were at one point.
Yes.
Okay.
So this person that I was dating asked me if I wanted to go to Big Bear on like a little like weekend cabin trip, and I was like, yeah, like that sounds great. So
it's Park in California.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we go up the mountain, and he's like, hey, so one of my best friends of like the last like 30 years is actually here with her family, and it's her birthday. And
Cool.
yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, obviously.
And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, we can meet up with her. It's her birthday. You want to see your friend that you've had your whole life, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we meet up at a restaurant, and like, I wasn't like
Feeling it.
yeah, they weren't very welcoming. Like,
Yeah.
it was like
This woman was rude.
Yes,
right? They were rude.
she was rude. She kept making comments about my age, the way I looked, like
just weird.
Weird. Just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, fine. We got the dinner thing done. Like, can we go now?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, or they were like, can you come to the house for cake? And he didn't even ask me. He was like, yeah, like, we'll go. And so,
I mean, yeah, you kind of have to at that point.
yeah. So I go to their house, and within like 5 minutes of
This is so insane.
sitting there, the person that I was dating said, oh, Casey was in that mass shooting that your friend committed. Yeah.
Sir, what?
Yeah.
Did I mishear you?
Yeah. So apparently.
Keep in mind you, they're at a fucking secluded cabin in the
Yes.
middle of nowhere with
Yes.
just them.
Yes. Yes.
This is the start of a horror movie. This is the start of a horror movie.
Truly. So then, when I hear that, my heart immediately sinks. And they're like, oh yeah, Steven, the dad, was like, Steven was my best friend for over 2 decades. Yeah. And then they start pulling up photos and showing me photos of like the daughter, who I think was turning like 45 or something. Like, she's old now, or not that that's old, but you know what I mean? Like,
She's not a child.
right?
Yeah.
And they're showing photos of when she was a child, like sitting next to him, like this person was part of their life.
For their whole lives.
Yes.
Until this happened.
And they're like basically telling me what a great guy he was. And my blood is boiling. I'm trying not to cry. And I'm like, can you please stop telling me about the person that almost murdered me and my sister?
And did murder.
And that murdered 60 people and
in one
injured,
fucking, this is
ended
the
up
biggest mass shooting ever.
Hundreds of people, literally people right next to me were fucking murdered, and they're showing me photos of the person that did it.
And telling you about how great he was,
Yeah,
right?
that he was one of
this
their
is
best friends, and that they spoke to him a week before it happened. And the person that I was dating was like, oh, like I thought this would be like healing for you. Like, I thought it would be good for you to get some answers. And
some answers?
I'm like,
some answers.
Dude, I felt fucking ambushed. Like, they were gonna finish the job. Like,
literally, I would be
yeah.
scared. I would be terrified of these people. I would have been like, I wouldn't even want to confront them because I would be thinking that they might fucking murder me.
Yeah. And so I'm like pinching his leg, whispering in his ear, we have to go.
Yeah.
I'm like texting him, let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, oh, I want to finish my cake. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Insane.
That's that's crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
It is crazy. Like, who does that?
No, and you think that your friend is a mass shooter, that you would be mortified and you would almost feel not responsible, but feel embarrassed and ashamed to have been close with this person who could commit such a horrible act and hurt so many people.
Or be like apologetic, like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
I'm
I'm
so
sorry
sorry,
that you and
know.
your sister were shot at.
Yeah,
Like,
we did not see that coming. I can't believe we were friends with this monster. Like, that's what I'd be saying, if anything, is just like, I can't believe we didn't see it coming. I'm so sorry for what you went
Exactly.
through. Obviously, that's what you'd say. So these people were obviously sick.
Yeah.
And in the same boat as the guy who did it. I mean, the fact they're defending him at all, and he's just a friend too. It's not like their son, which would be bad enough. So I'm that is a crazy story. And I think the worst part of all is that the person you were with, dating at the time, did this to you without telling you and brought you there and like ambushed you with that, because that truly would feel like an ambush. Like, is this a second, like, are they going to try to literally finish the job?
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
terrifying. What an insane story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Shelby.
Next story.
Okay, next question we have you ever experienced anything supernatural?
Okay, yeah. So I have one main story that I tell for this, and you may have heard it if you're a listener of the podcast, but I'll tell it again. So This is just like a weird thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was a haunting. I don't know if it was some kind of glitch in the matrix. Like, I don't know. But I was hanging out with my boyfriend at the time. We were in high school. It was a normal cloudy day, like much like today where we are right now.
Yes.
Not windy at all. All the windows and doors were shut anyway. So we're hanging out in his house, and it's like a new house. It's a nice spec home. It's not like I lived in a 100-year-old house. It's not like that. It's like built in the last 10 years, right? And so we're there, we're just hanging out, we're sitting on the couch, and it's like a couch like this, and then there's another couch going the opposite way. So it's an L shape of couches, 2 separate couches. We're sitting here exactly like you and me, Casey. And there's another couch on this side of us, the right side. So literally there's a bunch of throw pillows just like this, like sitting on both couches. And one of them, we literally watch as the one on the couch next to us, the one going this way, lifts up, like levitates, fully levitates, like off far off of the couch. Yeah, levitates. Hovers for just a second and then is thrown across the length of the couch, just like somebody tossed it. Yeah, just like someone literally, not aggressively, just like thrown across the couch.
I just got chills.
Yeah, and we were both looking at each other like, what just happened? What was that? So we go around and we check like the windows and the doors, and just like no one's home, there's no wind, nothing's open. Like literally it couldn't have been anything. It's just unexplainable, So yeah, we both just kind of moved on. Like we weren't high, we weren't drunk, like we were completely sober, and we just were like, okay, I mean, I guess that was insane, and then just kept going on with our lives. But
bizarre.
Yeah, so like that's one of the reasons that my mind is open when people say that they've seen insane shit that seems unbelievable. Like, no, you couldn't, that's not real, right? I know that I saw something that seems not real. So I always give people a little bit more benefit of the doubt and want to like investigate and hear these kinds of stories, because I'm like, no, there's stuff we don't explain out there.
Exactly.
We can't explain. Yeah.
I have had many experiences.
Supernatural. And I know I want you to get into it so bad, but I know there's like sensitive information.
So I need to ask some of my family members if they would be comfortable with me sharing some stories. But there is one I can share that is like a glitch in the matrix type of thing.
I think I know which one. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, this is creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So kind of crazy, but my dad's mom had apparently put a curse on my mom's womb for her children to suffer because she hated my mom. And this all gets uncovered after my grandma passes away.
Because you were told this by like psychic energy healers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And like my parents are very spiritual too, so they were like, something's up. But
I mean, they called them in because they were like being haunted, right? Like
yes, because my dad was being haunted.
Drawer slamming, like stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is insane. But on the exact same day, my sister who lives in San Diego, me who lives in Orange County, my brother who lives in LA, all got in car accidents on the exact same day.
That all weren't your fault?
Yeah, they were not our fault. And
they're not just bad drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
No, completely not their fault.
None of the accidents we were not at fault for any of them.
That's insane.
And they happened in different locations. My sister was the first. Hers was in the morning.
And in the order of your birth.
Birth order. Yes. It happened in birth order. So my sister was the first accident. It happened like on her way to work. My brother was midday. And then I was the last one.
Like, what are the odds?
What are the odds? What are the odds? And my parents were like, something is up with this.
Something wrong, yeah.
This is not normal. And it turns out that there was a curse put on.
There was also a curse on your car.
Yes. Oh my God.
This is crazy.
Okay, so
she had like
crazy.
multiple men tell her that she needs to get rid of this car because it is cursed. Like the mechanic.
Yes. So I had always driven really shitty cars that had like crank windows, no automatic locks, and I had got this job where I was actually making pretty good money. Like I had like a high up marketing position, and I was like, I'm gonna get myself a new car. And I like was looking at all these cars. I saw this really cute Jetta that was like, had a full sport package, had the luxury package. Like it didn't look like a Jetta. It looked much nicer. Okay. But I got like a really good deal on it. And I was like, this is kind of crazy. I'm paying like less than like sticker, and it was like, it just was like a crazy good deal. And I was like so excited to have a nice car. Like it was funny because the guy that sold it to me was like showing me all of the features, and I was like, oh my God, it has power windows.
That's funny. Those are important.
Yeah, but like it was my first car to ever have them.
Oh.
And so I was like, I loved that car. It was my baby.
Yeah, of course.
In the 2 years that I had it, it was in 6 different accidents, and none of them were my fault.
Crazy.
Yes.
And one actually you could have died.
Yes. Okay.
She got severely injured, had to be jazzed of life out.
Yes. And that one, okay, so that one I was technically at fault because I was rear-ended.
But you were pushed into the car in front of you by another car that rear-ended you.
Yes.
It was like a pileup.
Yes.
Yeah.
But crazy. But on the third accident, I was going to the same repair place, Caliber Collision, not that they need a plug, but
You're so sweet.
I was going there and the mechanic was like, you have to get rid of this car. This is not normal. Like, this car is cursed. Like,
the mechanic told him that. Like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, like, I was like a regular. Like, I should have had a punch card there. Yeah, and he was like, this is not normal. And also the fact that, like, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Because you're getting rear-ended and stuff. And, like, shit's, like, coming out.
Yes.
You're getting T-boned. Like,
yes, I got T-boned. And so then not only the mechanic, but the guy who worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car was so used to seeing me. He was like, you need to sell this car. Like, you need to sell it. And then sure enough, I even like saged the car thinking that would like
which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And didn't do anything.
It did not do shit because it got totaled. I broke my foot. I broke my wrist. It was awful.
Sage was not enough to break grandma's curse, obviously.
No. But you know what's crazy too is so the insurance money, I got like a used Lexus and then I talked to the insurance people and they told me that Jettas are like more accident prone. Like
what?
Jettas are like one of the cars that get
in more accidents?
Yeah.
Weird.
And I was like, that's strange though, because I was getting hit.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's for some reason, it's a stat that like,
weird.
Yeah, because my insurance went down with the Lexus.
Oh, well, because they're like Jettas are bad.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, I don't know how that works.
Crazy.
Like, we might have to like look into that more because it was this one insurance.
Yeah, that could explain some of it. That's wild.
Yeah.
And have you been in a car accident since?
No.
How many years has it been?
So that when my car got totaled and I got very injured was in February of 2020.
Okay, so it's been 5 years.
5 years, nothing.
No accidents.
I'm a good driver. Like those accidents were not my fault.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Crazy. You were cursed.
Wild.
So now do you feel like your grandma's curse is broken though?
It is because my parents had the energy healers come, break the curse, get rid of the spirit. Like
seriously, that's insane.
Yeah. And then like with all the crazy shit that's happened to me, like Shelby knows it's
their whole family was haunted. I mean, I won't say more than that, but it is like insane story with multiple witnesses every step of the way.
Yes.
Like,
yes. But also just the crazy shit that's happened to me personally.
Oh my, you have the most insane stories of anyone that I've ever met, truly.
But I fully believe in like energy work and energy healing. And I was seeing this therapist.
Well, you're also a miracle worker yourself, apparently.
We'll get into that
another
later.
story.
But yeah, she was like a therapist before she became an energy healer. So then she fused the two, which was amazing.
That's cool.
And she explained to me that trauma like lives in your body like on a cellular level. So if something happens to you when you're a child,
which it did for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that energy latches onto you, and people who are predators
can sense it.
And you're like an easy target. And she like said,
that checks out.
It's actually a statistic that like if you've been sexually assaulted once, it's like getting struck by lightning. You're more likely to get assaulted a second time. Like it's crazy. But the work that she did with me, like I truly feel like that's gone. I am no longer a people pleaser. I no longer attract bad people.
Yes.
And I've listened to my gut now. And I feel so much better, and all of that's behind me.
Yeah, and now you've only got good people in your life, truly.
Yes,
yeah.
Truly. So
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And Shelby's been instrumental in that. So thank you.
You're so sweet. No, it's all you.
No, it's true.
I'm just helpful, just giving you advice.
Very sound, honest advice. And I really appreciate it.
Like, never fucking talk to that person again. They're not your friend.
Yes, exactly.
That person hates you.
Like, Casey, that's not what friends do. Like,
literally.
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah, you've lost a lot of friends this year, but like it was for the best.
It wasn't actually
not friends. Yeah, they weren't real friends. They were people who you hoped to be friends and weren't. Anyway.
Yes, crazy.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good things ahead of her for sure.
Yes, for both of us.
For both of us.
Yes.
How about do you want to tell your Reiki story of you healing the guy? Because that's just a cool story.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so before we end, tell your Reiki healing story, because that one, I mean, it blew my mind, and I feel like Casey might go back into her Reiki energy practice, which so I'll tell you my quick Reiki story really quick, because I don't think I told you. So I only have gotten Reiki twice in my life. The second time was more recently, and I didn't go back, so I just didn't really feel anything. I didn't feel like I got a benefit. Yeah, whatever, for whatever reason. But the first time, It was insane. So my mom took us to, I was like young, I was maybe like 14 or something. My mom took us to this, like, apparently he was like well known, like famous of some sort, because we pull up, he has like a big living room. It's like at a house. Anyway, though, there's beds set up all in the whole living room. There's probably like 30 people there, and it's a big space.
Okay.
Yeah, big space, beds set up everywhere. So I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah,
this
that's
is weird,
interesting.
right? Everyone, like, there's people laying down on them, like, you know, face down or whatever, like massage tables.
Okay.
Basically. So yeah, they weren't beds, they were massage tables. Sorry,
Okay.
I misspoke. Beds would be weirder.
I was like,
massage table. I'm like trying to
Shelby, is this
remember.
a cult? What happened?
I'm trying to remember, like, you know, I was
Yeah,
younger. But
yeah.
anyway, so there's massage tables. People are laying down on them. And anyway, he is going around and he's like going to this person and like doing, not touching them physically, just like moving his hands over them and just going like, you know, doing like this kind of stuff, you know, like whatever. And he's walking just from one person to the next, seemingly at random, just walking around doing stuff. So he'd like maybe touch one person for a sec, go to the next person and kind of just make his rounds, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I lay down, my mom lays down. All of a sudden, like I can tell he's next to me. I feel the most intense like surge of energy like in my back. Like I feel it. It was as if somebody was touching the inside of me. It was insane. And he's like moving things around my back, but I can tell he's not actually touching me. Like there's no pressure. It's just like he's like moving things inside my back. I was like, holy, like what? And so he did that a couple of times, and then we like get up and leave, and I was like, okay, that's real. What is like,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
insane. And then the guy moved to Arizona. So that's why I never went back to him. My mom didn't either,
But
but
I'm so glad you had that experience.
Crazy.
And, like, know that it's legit.
it's real.
Yes.
It's real. I felt it. And I was very skeptical. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even know what it was.
Especially like if you have no clue what it is. It's
It
like,
sounds
okay,
insane.
this is insane.
Energy healing. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
But no, it's real. It's real.
Oh, it's so real.
Uh-huh.
And
You just have to find the right person. Because then I went to somebody else and I
Agreed.
didn't feel anything. So, you know, maybe we just
Facts.
didn't click. I don't know.
Okay, so I have some pretty serious health conditions, and they started kind of coming out like my late teens, early 20s, and in 2014, my POTS was really bad, and I was fainting a lot, and I just needed to figure something out. Like, I need to find a way to make myself feel better. So I discovered Reiki through going to a restorative yoga place, and it was like a spiritual center, and I was like, whoa, that was amazing. Like, similar experience to you. Like, I totally felt it. I felt lighter. I felt better. And I was like, I want to do it. That.
Yeah.
So I took classes to be a Reiki master.
Yeah, she's a Reiki master.
Yeah. And I would practice, and I had regular clients, and I did it for years. And
So tell us the one story.
yes. So the one like most magical Reiki experience that I had of me performing it on someone was one of my regular clients was a friend of mine. We were on a trip, we were in Miami, and he had hurt his hand, and his hand was super swollen. It was like probably twice the size of his regular
Wow,
hand.
okay.
And he would always want Reiki from me, and he was like, Casey, like, I need you. Like, my hand hurts so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I feel off. Like, I'm just not doing good.
Mhm.
So I did a Reiki session on him for probably like an hour. I was working on him, and it was crazy.
Yeah, you're an angel healer.
Thank you. But at the end of it, his hand wasn't swollen anymore. And he was like, oh my God, Casey, you healed me. I feel so much better. My hand, and he's moving his hand, and he gets so excited that he's yelling to everyone, running down the dock, Casey healed me. She's an angel. She healed me. Look at my hand. Oh my God. Like, he was so excited. And then I was even like, oh my God.
I'm magical.
I can't believe I did that. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
These hands.
Because there was actual like proof of
Yeah,
it.
that's
And,
insane.
like,
That's
the way
insane.
he felt, he was like, you healed me. You're a healer. So recently, like, I've talked to Shelby about it,
getting back into it.
of getting back into it.
Yeah.
And like, I still do Reiki on myself, but I haven't been
Practice.
practicing on other people.
I think you're going to do it, even just
So-
like part-time. So stay tuned for
Yeah,
that. And if
stay
you're in the
tuned.
LA area, you might want to hit her up for that.
Yes.
But okay.
But yeah.
We're out of time. So
Yes.
this has been so much fun, and we will definitely catch you at our next episode. I mean, we have a lot of stuff we're working on, and
Yes.
will be released very shortly. So we
And
just wanted to get to know
Shelby's
you.
coming to California in a month.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna
we're
do more
gonna-
stuff then.
Yes,
More recording
exactly.
sessions. So exciting. Okay.
Yay.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys. Bye.